down the block. Hey, but anyway, you know what you guys are? You guys are the Stoics and the Epicureans back at Mars Hill, which is Areopagus, is it? Damn.
It's a tongue twister.
It's a tongue twister to me. Areopagus. I still said it wrong. I gotta read it to say it, alright? But anyway, people, right?
That's right.
Now it says here in Acts 17, right? It says, and I'm gonna jump around. Acts 17 and 16, I'm gonna jump around. It says, now, this is when Paul was in Athens, alright? It said, now while Paul waited for them in Athens, his spirit was stirred in him when he saw the city wholly given to idolatry. These are Israelites that adopted the Hellenistic ways. So these were Israelites, blacks who spoke Greek, who followed the Greek customs, the Greek customs and so forth, right? It says this, it says 17, verse 17 of Acts 17. It says, therefore disputed he in the synagogue with the Jews and with the devout persons, and in the market daily with them that met with him. All right? 18 verse. Then certain philosophers of the Epicureans and of the Stoics. Now when you look up the Epicureans and the Stoics, it take you back to this man by the name of, I believe his name is Zeno of Citium. And he lived around 300 years before the birth of our Lord. And he was the one that came up with that concept, those schools of philosophy and so forth. And that's where these guys came, so many hundreds of years later. And that's what you guys are. That's who you guys remind me of. You know, you black consciousness guys, you were probably the same reincarnated back in the day as those guys that encountered Paul. All right? It says, then certain philosophers, by the way, the word philosopher means, it's broken up into two words, philo meaning love or lover, and sophos meaning sophists or sophists meaning wisdom, lovers of wisdom. Okay? It said, then certain philosophers of the Epicureans and of the Stoics encountered him, which was Paul. And some said, what will this babbler say? And that's what you guys, you guys debate among each other. You have the Moors debating among the Kemites, and the Kemites debating among this group.
Yeah.
And now you got Israel in the fray. So that's what you guys are basically saying. Look at these, what do these babblers have to say? I'll read it again. It says, what will this babbler, excuse me, I just lost the page. Alright, it says, what will this babbler say? Of his son, he seems to be a setter forth of strange gods. Because us teaching you about Israel and the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, to you, they're strange gods. Alright? It says, he seemeth to be a setter forth of strange gods. These are Israelites talking. Because he preached unto them, and the word there is Jesus, which is the Lord, and the resurrection. 19 verse. And they took him and brought him unto Areopagus. See, I can say it when I read it. Saying, may we know what this new doctrine whereof thou speakest is. So they call it a new doctrine. 20th verse. For thou bringest certain strange things to our ears. We would know therefore what these things mean.
Strange things to our ears.
Right. 21st verse. For all the Athens, which were Israelites, strangers which are Israelites, which were there, spent their time in nothing else but either to tell or to hear some new thing. And that's what those guys do. They're down there on 125th Street, and they got their little philosophies going back and forth, and then they'll call for a debate. And then the people that come, let's say half of the people come for one guy, and the other half come for the other guy, and when they all leave, none of them switch over.
Yeah.
None of them switch over, man.
Excuse, man.
So let me read this again. It says, for all the Athenians, which are Israelites, and you saw the movie 300, right? There was a reason why and get that in the Apocrypha, brother. In the, what is that, 2nd Ezra 12, is it? Or Ecclesiastes? No, Maccabees. I'm sorry, it's in Maccabees. I'm sorry. I think it's 1st Maccabees 12, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, all of y'all went out and saw that movie 300, right? And they showed in that movie, they had this guy, King Leonidas, and he had this big, long, bushy beard. Denzel should have played King Leonidas, man. And the characters behind him, the other 300, they should have all been black men, whether they be NBA players, NFL players, or bodybuilders, man.
That's right.
That long, bushy beard gave you a clue. They showing you that those were Jakes, man.
That's right, straight up and down.
Those were Jakes, man. Now, was it the Spartans that referred to the Athenians as boy lovers? Yo, those were weak-ass Israelites, man.
Yeah.
You know? You got that, brother? Bring that out and then get the backup to it, man.
All right, this is the book of...
Because we ain't playing, man. We real about this.
That's right, man.
1 Maccabees chapter 12, verse 1. Now when Jonathan saw that the time served him, he chose certain men and sent them to Rome, for to confirm and renew the friendship that they had with them. He sent letters also to...
Qualify that.
So it says, now Jonathan saw that the time served him.
Jonathan was an Israelite amongst the Maccabees fighting against the Syrians, which the head Syrian was Antiochus Epiphanes, or Antiochus Epiphanes, which the place Antioch is named after his family line, all right? Which he was an Edomite. He was going around saying he was a Syrian. He was a daggone Edomite, man. So this was one of the Israelites fighting against this guy. And they had a truce with the Romans, which at that time were for the most part the sons of Japhet.
That's right.
All right? The so-called Hawaiians and the Samoans, they were the ones, when you go back to Romulus and Remus, they were Japhet. They weren't white. They were dark-skinned. Okay?
He chose certain men and sent them to Rome for to confirm and renew the friendship that they had with them. He sent letters also to the Lacedaemonians and to other places for the same purpose. So they went unto Rome and entered into the Senate and said, Jonathan the high priest and the people of the Jews sent us unto you, to the end you shall renew the friendship which you had with them and league as in former time. Upon this the Romans gave them letters unto the governors of every place, that they should bring them into the land of Judea peaceably. And this is the copy of the letters which Jonathan wrote to the Lacedaemonians. Jonathan the high priest, and the elders of the nation, and the priests, and the other people of the Jews unto the Lacedaemonians their brethren send greetings. So that's it right there. Jonathan the high priest, and the elders of the nation, which is the nation of Israel, and the priests, and the other people of the Jews. So he's talking about the Jews, the Israelites. Unto the Lacedaemonians, their brethren send greetings. Why? Because the Lacedaemonians and the Jews were brothers. So now, when you go into the New Standard Translation, I believe it is, or the Standard Translation, something like that, which is a more updated version, which is a newer version, they put, for the place of the Lacedaemonians, they put Spartans. Because those Lacedaemonians were Spartans. So it's saying here that the Jews are brothers with the Lacedaemonians, which the Lacedaemonians are Spartans. So let you know that those Spartans, like Leonidas and the 300, they were actually Israelites that were calling themselves Spartans, which goes back to prove what we've been saying about the Israelite foreigners that were calling themselves by different names. They were calling themselves Greeks, but they were really Israelites that took on the customs of the Greeks, that learned the language of the Greeks. but they were also black men.